Hello all. Let's see the part 3 of the current affairs roundup for January to March 2023 of GS1. We'll continue from the last topic. We will see now about the LAVANI dance. This was in news because recently a noted LAVANI dancer, her name is Megha Ghadge, she raised an issue of obscenity and vulgarity in the dance performances under the name of LAVANI programs. So this makes a very interesting topic for UPSC, and we will have to see what is this LAVANI dance is all about. So it's a traditional folk art form from the state of Maharashtra with an aesthetical combination of singing, enactment, and dance. So the word Lavani comes from Lavanya or beauty. It has attained particular popularity in the Peshwa era in the 18th century. So traditionally performances were held in front of kings and for the entertainment of tired soldiers who are resting during the breaks in fighting. So there are several subgenres of Lavani, of which most popular is the Shrungaric or the erotic kind. So from the geography part of the syllabus, we should also learn about this western disturbances. It was in news because a fresh western disturbance, we simply addresses as WD, has recently hit the northern India, for which authorities have forecasted modern rainfall and snowfall at higher altitudes. So this makes western disturbances a very important topic from your examination point of view. So western disturbances is the term has been used to describe an extratropical storm. Please understand, this is an extratropical storm. It brings sudden winter rain and snow to the northwestern parts of the Indian subcontinent. This is very important. The western disturbances is the extratropical storm. It brings rains and snow to the northwestern parts of Indian subcontinent, particularly near Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, and also in the Gujarat area. So this is non-monsoonal precipitation pattern, and it is driven by the westerlies. Okay, it arises from the Mediterranean Sea, passes through the Caspian Sea, absorbs the moisture, travels to Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and bring rains and snowfall in the northwestern parts of the country. So this is non-monsoonal precipitation pattern, and it is driven by the westerlies. The moisture in these storms usually originates over the Mediterranean Sea, as I showed here in the map, and also the Atlantic Ocean. So extratropical storms are global phenomena with moisture usually carried in the upper atmosphere, unlike the tropical storms where it is carried in the lower atmosphere. So please understand, in the tropical cyclones, the water vapor or whatever the moisture is there, it is carrying in the upper atmosphere, while these extratropical or the western disturbances, they will carry the moisture in the lower atmosphere. Okay, this is non-monsoonal precipitation, and it gathers the moisture from Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. So this western disturbance in India usually influence the weather on the north and the northwestern regions of India, and it increases the monsoonal activity. So if you can remember, during the winter season, before that there will be a retreating monsoon in the country. So there will be the climate of retreatal monsoons, and this western disturbances will increase the monsoonal activities. Okay, and it was found that if the frequencies of formation and movement of depression over the Bay of Bengal in a particular year increases, then the frequency of western disturbance of the same year will decrease. This point is very, very important. Please understand, if there is more and more number of depressions happening in the Bay of Bengal region, then the number of western disturbances happening will be less. So please understand, if here it is more, there will be less number western disturbances. But if cyclones in the Bay of Bengal is less, then the western disturbances will be more. Some or the other way, the climate of the Indian subcontinent is balanced by the monsoonal, tropical cyclones and also the western disturbances. So these western disturbances are very important to the development of Rabi crop. Please remember, the western disturbances are helpful for the Rabi crop because it is in the northern subcontinent. They include the local important staple wheat. So these western disturbances will come during the winter season and it is helpful for the wheat. Please remember this. This is the way one formula I had made to remember. Western disturbances will come during winter and it will affect the western part of the country and very important for the growth of wheat. So WWWW. Okay. The next important topic we have to see is this Adi Mahotsav. Adi means the tribes. So it comes under the art and culture part of our syllabus. It was in news because Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has recently inaugurated this Adi Mahotsav in the Major Dhyan Chand National Stadium of Delhi. So what is this festival all about? It is a national tribal festival. It aims to showcase the tribal culture, celebrate the spirit of tribal culture, crafts, cuisine, commerce and traditional art. So it is an annual initiative of the Tribal Cooperative Marketing Development Federation Limited or TriFed under the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. So Shri Hanna, this is like the millets. Shri Anna, it is the Indian term for millets. Since 2023 is being celebrated as the International Year of Millets, a special focus in the Mahotsav will be on showcasing Shri Anna, which is grown by the tribals. So this Shri Anna is Indianized or the Hindi or Indian term for millets, and 2023 is the International Year of Millets. And in this Adi Mahotsav, we are showcasing different cuisine made from the millets or Shri Anna. So in the event, NSTFTDC disseminate information on various schemes and financial support being powered to the scheduled tribes. So mainly Adi means it is tribes, tribal festivals. So NSTFDC is the short form for National Scheduled Tribes Finance and Development Corporation. From the examination point of view, it is important you have to read about this organization because since they are disseminating the information here, you also should understand what is this organization all about. So it was set up in the year 2001 and it is under the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. It works for the socio-economic and educational upliftment of scheduled tribes or the STs. It also provides for the better self-employment avenue so that they can become economically independent and self-reliant. It devises and implements the financial assistance scheme exclusive for the tribes. These schemes are for providing loans to the poor scheduled tribes at concessional rates of interest and on soft terms and conditions. See, you cannot impose the same rate of interest for these tribal people because you have to inspire them for the financial inclusion. So they are going to provide in the softer terms loan to this tribal people. For helping the tribal students to pursue higher education, loans are offered which are subsidized by the Ministry of Human Resources Development. Please understand, it is under the Ministry of Tribal Affairs and was set up in 2001 and works for the socio-economic educational upliftment of the scheduled tribes. Now this is very important from women related issues. Women 20. It was a news because two-day inception meet of Women 20 was held at Aurangabad district of Maharashtra. So Women 20 is an official engagement group under the G20. So Women 20 is under G20 official engagement group, which is focusing on gender equity. So Women 20 was established during the Turkish presidency of G20 in 2015, and the priorities of this Women 20 is women's entrepreneurship, grassroots women leadership, bridging the gender digital divide, educational and skill development, and also climate change. So the primary objective, the important primary objective is to ensure that gender considerations are mainstreamed into the G20 discussions and translated into G20 leaders' declaration as policies and commitments. So these policies and commitments will foster the gender equality and women's economic empowerment. W20 or Women 20 under India's presidency is focused on actualizing Prime Minister's vision of women-led development. So there are 5 priority areas of W20 under the India's presidency, which are women's entrepreneurship, grassroots women leadership, bridging the gender digital divide, educational and skill development, and climate change. Next important topic is arts in Mann Ki Baat. You all know that Prime Minister is doing this Mann Ki Baat and it's very popular. So in this Mann Ki Baat, Prime Minister has spoken about Ustad Bismillah Khan Yuva Puraskar Awards and their art forms. So the first important art he spoke is about Sur Singar. It is a stringed musical instrument. It is similar to the sarod. So it is a Hindustani musical instrument, that is Sur Singar. It is very similar to sarod, but which is older and it produces deeper notes. The instrument is made of wood and has a gourd attached to a hollow wooden handle with a metal finger board. The strings of the instrument Sur Singar is usually 4 in number and made of brass or bronze. It is plucked with a metal pick. The Sur Singar can be played holding it vertically in front of the musician and supported by his left shoulder like the veena. So it can be played holding it parallel to the ground like the sarod or like the sitar, which is held at an angle of 50 to 60 degree to the ground. The Sur Singar usually accompanies Drupad, which is the genre of the Hindustani vocal music. Kolkata-based multi-instrumentalist Joydeep Mukherjee is credited with reviving Sur Singar along with another lost stringed instrument, the Radhika Mohana Veena, named after its creator Radhika Mohana Maitra. So it is basically a Hindustani musical instrument and it is very similar to sarod, older and produces deeper notes. Please understand it is usually accompanied by Drupad and it is a genre of the Hindustani vocal music. The next important art he has spoken is about mandolin. This is the mandolin. It is a stringed instrument. As you can see, there are strings attached. So it is a stringed instrument. It usually has 4 strings, 8 strings. 4 strings is in Sur Singar, and mandolin has 8 strings that are plucked with a pick similar to a flute. Sorry, the F has been missed here. It is a flute. The mandolin is a moderately sized instrument. It is smaller than the veena, sitar or a guitar. It was developed in the Europe in 18th century as an evolution of the older mandola or the mandora. The greatest exponent of mandolin in Indian classical music was late Uppa Lapu Srinivas, often known as Mandolin Srinivas, who however used the electric instrument rather than the acoustic one. So Uppalapu Nagamani, a mandolin player, is the winner of Ustad Bismillah Khan Yuva Puraskar of 2021 for Carnatic instrumental. So Karakatam and Perini Odyssey. It was mentioned in Mann Ki Baat, so it becomes an important art and culture topic for you. Karagatam, which is seen in the picture, it is an ancient folk dance of the state of Tamil Nadu. Karakatam performers wear colorful saris and dance with a pot. See the pot here? This is called the karakam on their head. The dance is performed to invoke Mariamman. Mariamman is the rain goddesses. So V. Durga Devi of Salem is a well-known Karakatam dancer and she has won this award for Karakatam. The next one is Perini Odyssey. Perini Natyam is a dance which is dedicated to Lord Shiva. It is quite popular during the Kakatiya dynasty. So Ramkumar Nayak had organized Perini Odyssey which lasted for 101 days and 31 districts of Telangana, and he has won this Ustad Bismillah Khan Yuva Puraskar for Perini Odyssey. So you should also understand what is this Ustad Bismillah Khan Yuva Puraskar. So this Ustad Bismillah Khan Yuva Puraskar was announced in the year 2006 and it is given to artists up to the age of 40 years by the Sangeet Natak Academy. So this organization, Sangeet Natak Academy, which is the apex body for the performing arts in the country, will give this Ustad Bismillah Khan Yuva Puraskar, and it was introduced in 2006, and artists up to the age of 40 years can win this award. So it is going to identify and encourage outstanding young talents in the performing arts and give them national recognition early in their life. So Ustad Bismillah Khan Yuva Puraskar carries a purse money of rupees 25,000. It will also carry an Angavastram and a plague like this. This is the award plaque. Next is the Pushpagiri Kshetram. It is a 13th century Hindu temple ruins. It has been recently unearthed at the Pushpagiri Kshetram in Kadapa district. The Pushpagiri Kshetram hillock is also known as Pushpachala. This hillock is famous for the chain of temples which is dedicated to pantheon of Hindu gods. It has over 100 small and big temples in its vicinity. So Chennakeshwar temple, Uma Maheshwara temple, Rudrapada temple, Vishnupada temple, Trikuteshwara temple, Vaidyanatheshwara temple, Subramanya temple, Vigneshwara and Durga Devi temples are found here in the Pushpagiri Kshetram. So here a very important river, Penna river. Please read about this Penna river, of which river's tributary it is, and it is flowing in the southwest of the Pushpagiri. Pushpagiri is referred to as Harihara Kshetra as there are number of temples dedicated to both Shiva and Vishnu. The architectural features of the ruins reveal a style which is contemporary to a temple at Vallur. The Vallur temple was built by the Kayastha rulers of the 13th century AD. The Kayasthas were the subordinates to the rulers of Kakatiya dynasty. See, this is in Andhra Pradesh. So obviously Andhra and Telangana was mainly ruled by this Kakatiya dynasty. So these Kayastha rulers were the subordinates of this Kakatiya dynasty. They ruled the region with Vallur as their capital. The next important news was about this CHHATRAPTI SAMBHAJI Nagar, Aurangabad. We just mentioned about the W20 organized here. And now this Aurangabad, which is in Maharashtra, has been recently rechristened as CHHATRAPTI SAMBHAJI Nagar. Aurangabad's history incorporates the Sultanate, Mughals and the Marathas and goes back further in time. So Ajanta Ellora caves are in Aurangabad. Ajanta has 30 rock-cut Buddhist monuments from the 2nd century BC. Ellora is the largest rock-cut Hindu temple and its 100 caves dating back to the Rashtrakuta and the Yadava dynasties. Ajanta Ellora caves are UNESCO World Heritage Sites which are in Aurangabad. So please understand this city has been being rechristened as CHHATRAPTI SAMBHAJI Nagar. And this Aurangabad history has many rulers in its history, that is Sultanate, Mughals, Marathas ruling them. And Muhammad bin Tughlaq, a sultan of Delhi Sultanate, decided to shift his capital to safer Daulatabad or Deogir but failed to do so. The fort in Daulatabad was capital of the Yadava dynasty till the 14th century. It later became a part of the Ahmednagar Sultanate. The tomb of Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb lies in Aurangabad. Aurangzeb's wife Dilras Banu Begum's burial mausoleum, it is known as Bibi Ka Maqbara. It is also called as Poor Man's Taj Mahal. It also is in Aurangabad. It was built by Aurangzeb and it is known as the Taj of the Deccan or the Poor Man's Taj Mahal. because he was believing in the Quran, and Quran doesn't promote much into the architecture. So Aurangabad was rechristened after Sambhaji. Sambhaji was a Maratha ruler, Chhatrapati Shivaji's son, and the city also hosts the well-known Shivaji Museum. The next important topic about women and history is CHHANAR revolt. So this is the bicentenary celebration of this CHHANAR revolt, and it's very important topic from your examination point of view. The bicentenary celebration of one of the earliest recorded anti-caste assertions in the southern India was held in Nagarkoil with the attendance of chief ministers of Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So this anti-caste revolt fought in 1823 in the southern parts of Travancore kingdom is known as Marumarakkal Samaram and CHHANAR revolt in Kerala and Tol Silai Poratam in Tamil Nadu. Tol Silai means it's a blouse poratam. So the revolt is a militant public action sought with the women from the Nadar caste. The Nadar caste are OBC community in the forefront. They are majorly seen in Kerala and Tamil Nadu regions. The demand was that they should be allowed to clothe the upper part of their body, a choice then limited to the upper caste women. So in the parts of Tamil Nadu and Kerala, women were not allowed to cover their upper parts of their body, and this choice of covering the upper part of the body was limited only to the upper caste women like the Brahmins. So these Nadar, who are the OBC community, they had no right, they could not cover their upper body. So hence this CHHANAR revolt is also known as the upper cloth revolt. As I told you, Tol Silai means the upper cloth or the blouse revolt. So the agitation spread across the southern talukas of the then Travancore kingdom. The Hindu upper caste, particularly the Nayar community, dominated the administration. They opposed this demand of wearing the upper cloth. The royal proclamation acceding the demand was made in 1859. The Vaikom Satyagraha 1924 to 25 was held to allow all caste access to roads when past the Vaikom Shiva temple. And this Vaikom Satyagraha saw the participation of Hindu upper caste in large numbers. There was a Savarna march organized from Vaikom to Thiruvananthapuram to press the demand of the Satyagrahis. Please remember this man's name, that is Sri Narayana Guru, who was behind this Vaikom Satyagraha. He fought against the caste system for social equality. So his message was, man is of one kind, one faith and one God. Vaikunta Swami, who was born in the Nadar family, started a radical spiritual movement which wanted equality at its core. It was influenced by Tamil Siddha tradition. Vaikunta Swami challenged the custodians of the caste and religious pure is maintained and questioned all sets of authority. The Guruvayur temple entry movement in 1931 allowed entry to socially backward Hindus. Next topic is about Humayun, because there was a book release about Humayun. The book was named The Planetary King. So historian Ebba Kosh book, The Planetary King Humayun Pacha, inventor and visionary on the Mughal throne, was launched in Delhi on Humayun's birth anniversary. So you should know about Humayun. His birth name was Nasiruddin Humayun. He ruled between 1530 to 1540 and 1555 to 56. He was the second Mughal Pacha. He was the successor of Babur, the founder of Mughal dynasty and father of Akbar. Humayun name means lucky, but he was quite unlucky actually. He could rule only, he had very difficult years between 40 and 55. He was replaced by Shesha Suri, and again he had to claim back. So he lost his rival to his rival Shesha Suri in the Battle of Chausa in 1539, and again in the Battle of Kanauj in 1540, which made him to flee to Iran. In Iran, Humayun received help from Safavid Shah and regained his throne in Delhi in 1555 after 15 years of losing the battle. A year later, in 1556, he died in an accident. So his biography is Kanun-i-Humayuni, was written by historian Khawaud Amir. It is also known as Humayun Nama of Quadamir. Humayun Nama is an account of his life written by his sister Gulbadan Begum during Akbar's reign. Shah Jahan's court poet Abu Talib Khalim Khashani wrote a poem on Humayun's tomb. Akbar erected this Humayun's tomb, which is in Delhi. It is near the Purana Killa, which we read about. The visitors of G20 delegates will be visiting there. It is also called Pandavunka Killa. The palace fortress and other Mughal buildings. Humayun had immense knowledge and interest in astronomy and astrology. So Humayun himself wrote scientific treatises on including an introduction to the science of astronomy and some other unusual matters. Humayun even planned to construct an observatory in India. So the next important topic is about Holi colors. Holi colors. Holi has lead oxide, copper sulfate and malachite green and aluminium bromide, Prussian blue, chromium iodide, Genesian violet and mercury sulfide. So Holi is a harvest festival which is celebrated by playing with colors. It comes during summer. Traditionally natural gulal or color is made from dried flower petals, vegetable dyes, starch, leaves, etc. Natural Holi gulals are made with turmeric or henna flowers such as marigold, chrysanthemum and rose. They also have ingredients like gram flour or rice flour. Food grade colors are also used in making colors which are synthetic. The dry colors commonly known as gulals or abhir have two components, that is colorant and a base. The dry color may cause cutaneous problems because they have these chemicals. Please remember these chemicals. The chemicals in the synthetic colors can harm skin, respiratory tract and eyes. They can also harm the environment, which is adding the particulate matter to the air. These particulate matter cause ocular infections and breathing trouble, and these chemicals take years to decompose. Please remember all these chemicals and their impacts. Next topic is KEELADI Museum. It was in news because the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu inaugurated this KEELADI Museum in Shivaganga district of Tamil Nadu. This museum is built on 2 acres of KEELADI at a cost of rupees 18.43 crore. So this museum is located 12 kilometers southeast of Madurai city in Shivaganga district and has 6 blocks and is built in Chettinad style of architecture. So this museum is adorned with 15,000 unique artifacts which was unearthed between the 4th and 8th phases of excavation since 2018. The information on every piece of display will be available in 2 languages and is accompanied by a catalogue of Braille. So this is equipped with multimedia content, QR codes and holograms. It houses a replica of the excavation trench and a play area. The hamlet, so you should know what is this. Why is this KEELADI very important? This is a hamlet which has a major urban habitation site unlike many other archaeological sites in the state. KEELADI excavations began in the year 2015. From then it is making a lot of noise. It is a testimony to the regal life lived by the ancient Tamils during the Sangam age. The first 3 seasons of excavations were carried out between 2014 and 17 by the Archaeological Survey of India. The Tamil Nadu State Government of Archaeology took over from the 4th season in 2018. So the State Archaeological Department is about to begin the 9th phase of excavations. So this VAOSHANG festival, it is in news because this 5-day long VAOSHANG festival is Manipur's version of Holi and it has begun this year. This festival is celebrated every year on the full moon day of the Lamtha month, that is February and March of the Methi lunar calendar. It is celebrated by the Methi people who are predominantly Hindu, and these Methi people are the valley people. So it is celebrated at the same time as Holi and it is known as Manipur's version of Holi. The festival marks the rejuvenation of the spirit of life and commemorates the birthday of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. On the first day, VAOSHANG, a small thatch hut or straw hut. See here, this is a straw hut. It is constructed with bamboo and straws. The image of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the thatched hut is worshipped. After the sunset, the festival begins with VAOSHANG Methaba. It is also known as burning of this straw hut. So morning they are building this and evening they are going to burn the straw hut. Children visit neighbors to ask for monetary donations called Nakatheng. During these 5 days, sporting events happen during the day and traditional Tabal Chongba dance will be there in the nights. So what is this Chabal Chomba? It literally means the full moon dance, a traditional dance of the Methi, where boys and girls gathered in an open ground and danced in a circle. Now, from geography end, you have to read about the cyclone Freddy because it has dissipated over Malawi in March 2023 after a record-breaking 37-day stint over the southern Indian Ocean and Africa. This cyclone Freddy was first developed off the North Australian coast and tracked across the entire southern Indian Ocean. It covered a total distance of more than 8,000 kilometers during its lifetime and periodically weakened below the tropical storm status. The cyclone made landfall thrice, once in Madagascar and twice in Mozambique. Its records made by Cyclone Freddy are yet to be validated by the World Meteorological Organization. Actually, it is the longest lived tropical cyclone ever recorded in any of the Earth's oceans. This is very, very important from your prelims point of view. It has lasted for 37 days and broke the record of 31 days, which was set by the Hurricane John in 1994. It also broke the record for the highest accumulated cyclone energy at 87.01 units, breaking the record of 85.27 units by Hurricane Ioke in 2006. So, Cyclone Freddy is the first tropical cyclone ever to experience 7 phases of rapid intensification over its lifetime. Previous, it was 4 rapid intensification phases. So the accumulated cyclone energy is the total wind energy generated by a tropical cyclone throughout its lifetime, and it is calculated as a square of peak wind speed observed, calculated and added every 6 hours. So rapid intensification is when a tropical cyclone gains wind speeds of more than 55 kilometers per hour in a period of 24 hours. The next topic is about Komaram BHEEM and Alluri SEETARAMA Raju, because the Telugu movie RRR was inspired by the lives of this Indian freedom fighters Alluri SEETARAMA Raju and Komaram BHEEM. So both this Alluri SEETARAMA Raju and Komaram BHEEM were 20th century revolutionaries. They led this tribal people in the present day Andhra Pradesh against the British and also the Nizams. Alluri Seetarama Raju is believed to have been born on 4th July of 1897 in a village called Moggalu near Bhimavaram in Andhra Pradesh. By the age of 18, he became a sannyasi, renouncing all worldly pleasures and mingled with the local tribal community. These tribes followed the Podu system of cultivation. It is like shifting cultivation, whereby every year some amounts of forest tracts were cleared for cultivation, just like our shifting cultivation. The Madras Forest Act of 1882 banned the collection of minor forest produce, and tribal people were forced into labor by the colonial government. It restricted the free movement of the tribal communities and prohibits them from engaging in the Podu agricultural system. This oppressive order was the beginning of the tribal revolt known as the Manyam Rebellion. In August 1922, he launched this Rampa Rebellion against the British. He used guerrilla warfare along with army of tribal people to fight against the British. However, on 7th May 1924, he was treacherously trapped, tied to a tree and shot dead. He was honored for valor and fiery spirit with the Manyam Virudu, that is the hero of the jungle. And this was on 125th birth anniversary. Our Prime Minister unveiled a 30 feet bronze statue of him at Bhimavaram in the West Godavari district. Another important hero, Komaram BHEEM, was born on October 22, 1901 at Sankepalli village in Asifabad. He hailed from Gond tribal community. BHEEM's family migrated to Sardapur village in Kerimeri Mandal after the father's death. Nizam's government used to collect tax in the name of Bambaram and Dupapetti for grazing cattle and collecting firewood for cooking. He led a rebellion against the Nizams of Hyderabad opposing the taxes. The slogan Jal Jangal Jameen, that is water, forest, land, was given by BHEEM to fight for tribal freedom and rights and oppose the taxes. Komaram BHEEM died in the battle against the Nizam's army in Jodeghat forest. Asifabad district has been named as Komaram BHEEM district since 2016. The next important topic is Sinia Island. Archaeologists have found the oldest pearling town in the Persian Gulf. on an island of one of the North Sheikdoms of the UAE. The pearling town sits on Sinia Island, whose name means flashing lights. Sinia Island shields the Khor al Bida marshlands and it is located north of al Quwam. Al Quwam is the least populated emirate in the UAE. The pearling town predates the rise of Islam across the Arabian Peninsula and dates back to the late 6th century. The archaeologists have already discovered an ancient Christian monastery dating back to 1400 years in the island. The town sits directly south of that monastery on one of the curling fingers of the island and stretches across some 12 acres. So archaeologists have found a variety of homes made of beach rock, lime mortar, ranging from crumpled quarters to more sprawling homes with a courtyard suggesting a social stratification. In the homes, loose pearls and diving whites are also discovered. The site also bears sign of year-round habitation, unlike other pearling operations run in seasonal spots in the region. The pearling industry rapidly collapsed after the World War I with the introduction of artificial pearls. The discarded oyster shells from the pearling industry is found in a dump site in the island. Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah, Ajman, Al Quwain, Fujairah and Ras Al Khaimah are 7 emirates of UAE. Please remember this. Next topic is about Venusian volcano. Scientists get first direct geological evidence of an active volcano in the Venusian surface. A fresh analysis of radar images obtained more than 30 years ago has yielded new evidence indicating Venus is currently volcanically active. NASA's Magellan spacecraft imaged portions of Venus up to 3 times spanning 24 months from 1990 to 92. It shows that a volcanic vent about 1.6 km wide on the Venusian surface expanded and changed shape over a 8-month span in 1991. The Raju area of Venus is where 2 of the biggest volcanoes of Venus, Oza Mons and Mata Mons, are located. The vent is situated on Mat Mons, which is about 9 km tall and is the planet's highest volcano and second highest mountain. So it is the second planet which is closer to Sun in the solar system. Diameter of Venus is about 12,000 km and it is slightly smaller than Earth. Due to its size, Venus is often known as Earth's twin. It has thick atmosphere mainly of carbon dioxide which traps in heat in a runaway greenhouse effect. The thick atmosphere make Venus solar system's hottest planet. Venus lacks plate tectonics which is responsible for most of the volcanoes on Earth. The first spacecraft that visited Venus was the Soviet Union's Venera series. NASA has 2 missions for Venus in the near future, that is Da Vinci and Veritas. European Space Agency Venus mission Envision. Japan's Akatsuki spacecraft has been studying Venus atmosphere since 2015. Venus mission of India is Shukrayan 1 is expected to be launched in December 2024. Please read all these missions and the country associated because it can come in the form of match the following. Next is about Mata Sharda Devi Temple. It was a news because Union Home Minister and Minister of Cooperation inaugurated this Ma Sharda Devi Temple at Kupwara in Jammu and Kashmir. Sharda Peeth and Sharda Mata Devi Temple is a revered site for the Hindu community in Jammu and Kashmir. It is one of the 18 Mahashakti Peethas and is considered to be the abode of Indian Hindu goddess Saraswati. It is located in the Neelam Valley in Pakistan occupied Kashmir across Teethwal village in Kupwara district of Jammu and Kashmir along the line of control. Ma Sharda's temple was reconstructed as the temple has been out of reach since partition. So originally there was no idol of the goddess Sharda in the temple but there was only a stone plinth. The reconstructed temple has the idol of Sharda Ma which was donated by the Sringeri Mutt. It's an important step in the direction of discovery of Sharda civilization and promotion of Sharda script. Sharda Peeth has been a historical center of India's cultural, religious and educational heritage. It was a center of learning known as Sharda Peeth or Sarvagnana Peeth. So Government of India is working in the direction of start of Sharda Peeth Yatra across the line of control. So please remember the Sharda Peeth is on the line of control in the Kupwara district of Jammu and Kashmir. So let's see about the Sharda script. The original script is from Kashmir. It evolved from the western branch of Brahmi nearly 1200 years ago. At this time, the language of Kashmir was developing into Kashmiri with its peculiar intonations, variations, and sounds, and the script became unfit for Sanskrit. But almost all the ancient Sanskrit literature of Kashmir is written in this Sanskrit Sharda script. The Kartarpur corridor, inaugurated in 2019, links two important Sikh shrines and allows pilgrims to travel visa-free. It links Dera Baba Nanak in Gurdaspur of Punjab and Gurdwara Darbar Sahib in Kartarpur of Pakistan. The next topic is about Mount Merapi. You can see here near the Java Sea in the Indian Ocean near Jakarta. The Indonesia's Merapi volcano spews hot clouds and ash in new eruption and halted tourism. Indonesia's Mount Merapi is one of the world's most active volcanoes. Mount Merapi volcano is located on the border of central Java and Yogyakarta provinces. It is 2,968-meter mountain, about 30 kilometers from Yogyakarta. Mount Merapi is the most active among the 120 active volcanoes in Indonesia. You can see here it is too much active. You find the volcanic mountains in Indonesia. The volcano's last major eruption was in 2010 and killed more than 300 people. Despite being a dangerous volcano, Mount Merapi is a famous tourist destination. So Indonesia is home to many active volcanoes due to its position on the Ring of Fire or the Circum-Pacific Belt, which is characterized by active volcanoes and frequent earthquakes. Other volcanoes in Indonesia are Mount Semeru, Mount Bromo, Mount Sinabung, and Mount Levotok. The next topic is Gamosha or Gamcha. The hybrid Gamosa was used to felicitate guests in a function, sparked protests across the Assam. That's why you have to read about this Gamcha. The Assamese Gamcha and Bengalis Gamcha were cut in half and sewn together, which triggered rows in Assam claiming that the symbol of Assamese identity has been insulted. The gamosa or the gamcha is a hand-woven rectangular cotton piece of cloth with red borders and designed with different designs and motifs. It is traditionally offered to elders and guests as a mark of respect and honor by the Assamese people. It's an integral part of all socio-religious ceremonies in the state and is considered as an Assamese identity and pride. The gamosa literally means a towel and is commonly used in Assamese households for day-to-day affairs. For special purposes, it is also made of expensive materials like traditional Assamese pat silk in different colors as well. Gamosa is known as Pulam Gamosa, a gamosa meant for exchange during Bihu festival as Bihuan. Gamosa, a unique scarf found only in Assam, also received the geographic indication tag. Tibetan Buddhism. The Dalai Lama has named a US-born Mongolian boy as the 10th Khalkha Jetsun Dampa. It is the head of the Janang tradition of the Tibetan Buddhism. The 9th Khalkha Jetsun Dampa died in 2012 at Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Since then, there has been a wait for this reincarnation. Buddhism originated in India, became a predominant religion in Tibet by the 9th century AD. It evolved from Mahayana and Vajrayana traditions of Buddhism. This Janang tradition of Tibetan Buddhism evolved from the Mahayana and Vajrayana traditions of Buddhism, incorporating many tantric and shamanic practices of both post-Gupta period Buddhism in India. So Tibetan Buddhism also incorporates from the Bon religion which spread across the Tibet before this Buddhism's arrival. So Tibetan Buddhism has four major schools: Nyingma 8th century, Kagyu 11th century, Shakya 1073, Gelungs 1409. The Janang school of 12th century is one of the smaller schools. It grew as an offshoot of the Shakya school. Gelung school since 1640 has been predominant school of Tibetan Buddhism. The Dalai Lama belongs to this Gelung school. The Dalai Lama is the foremost spiritual and temporal authority of Tibet. The fifth Grand Lama of the school, Wang Lobsang Gyatso was first conferred the title of Dalai Lama. Dalai means ocean in Mongol. To consolidate his rule, he instituted the tradition of succession through reincarnation in the Gelung school. He himself claimed to be the reincarnation of Avalokiteshvara, one of the most important bodhisattvas in Mahayana traditions. According to Tibetan Buddhist tradition, the spirit of a deceased Lama is reborn in a child. Several procedures are followed to recognize the Tuluk's recognized reincarnations. Over the past 70 years of Chinese occupation, he has been living in exile in Dharmashala of India. The next topic is Gorata Martyr Memorial. The Union Home Minister had inaugurated this Gorata Martyr Memorial and he hoisted the 103 feet high tricolor at Gorata Mairan in Bidar of Karnataka. So it is very important topic for your examination. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel played a key role in Hyderabad liberation. The Hyderabad state was liberated from Nizam's rule on September 17, 1948. Gorata village in Bidar district of Karnataka was then a part of Nizam-ruled Hyderabad state. The Hyderabad rulers opposed the erstwhile princely state's unification with India after India's independence. Razakar commander Shamshuddin had attacked Gorata village where the locals had hoisted a 2.5 feet tall national flag. The villagers had retaliated and killed Shamshuddin. Following this, May 9, 1948, at Gorata village, more than 200 people had been massacred with the Razakars of Nizam. So, thank you so much. We'll continue with the next part of the current affairs.